Where is it? Okay, I'm going to hit the go live button for the first time. Then I'm going to do a third. And I'm unmuting us because... Oh, I can't unmute you. This is a quality show. We got going here. Yep. Whoa! That didn't work out.
No.
Oh, you forgot to turn off the green screen button.
Yeah. Damn it. It all just got ruined. Whatever.
Nice.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, it looked great whenever I thought we were streaming and I didn't hit the button yet.
For shame.
For shame. So I'll read the intro. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I am Sean Crummell, creator of Smacked in the Head, the animated series comic, and host of Random Back Issue Comics on this very YouTube channel. And if you're a new subscriber, I also do the quick sketches. I am joined by my high school best friend, Steve. This is usually the show where I learn how to live stream, and generally we talk about nonsense and toys. But for the last 8 weeks, we've been watching Mandalorian Season 2 because we needed a topic.
Yes.
Yeah. How you doing? How was your week?
Fucking long, man. It's rough. It's getting rougher. Getting old hurts.
Yeah. I don't even have to do much and my hip hurts.
Yeah, I did something to my shoulder. It's pretty bad. But
all right. Well, amputate.
It is what it is.
Gotta have to amputate.
That's fine. I've always said I'm gonna get a robot hand anyway.
That'd be great. There's a dude on Instagram that has a really awesome, like, people are like, can you make one that does this? And then they have like servos and all kinds of crap, and he's like missing like all of these, and he has one that looks like a Ninja Turtle hand, so he's got his thumb and then these two robot like paddles.
Oh, that's amazing.
Pretty awesome. I forget his name. I think I followed him, but yeah, it's pretty neat.
Awesome. It is neat.
Yeah. So Mandalorian, man.
Yeah. I remember texting you the day before saying I'm going to call it now and say this is going to be a bust.
Yeah.
But I also do remember saying there is nothing else makes sense than to bring in Luke.
We're not even there yet. Spoiler. Well, I guess if you saw the thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah. Spoiler. My ass. I mean, it made no sense. And I say we just jump into it because, I mean, that's kind of what's going on, and that's what this episode really is all about.
It really is. You can cut out most of it and just have the last chunk and be good as an episode. It'd be about 10 minutes long, maybe.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of foreshadowing. There is build-up. They show the fight between the Mando and a Dark Trooper and how badass those things actually are. So when Luke does come in, it shows how badass he actually is.
All right, let's just walk through it. So
I guess so. Yeah,
Slave 1 is chasing a Lambda shuttle, a shuttle Tydirian from like Jedi.
Yeah,
and it's got that professor guy that was operating on Baby Yoda in the first season, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, some scientist dude, lab dude number 1.
And Slave 1 shoots it with an ion pulse, I assume. I never knew it could do that before. And then and they immediately say, the two pilots are like, comms are down. And then right after that, Boba Fett calls them.
And I was like, how did that happen?
It's like
ship-to-ship transmissions here?
Comms means comms. Apparently not.
I mean, if he shot it with like a link up, but it would have to be like literally ship to ship. They would have to be touching, or they would have to be
like the two tin cans and the string vibrating.
That's the only thing that would work in that situation after an ion cannon.
Yeah,
all electrical equipment is down.
That's the kind of writing where I'm like, oh, stay classy, Mandalorian.
Yeah, and the
But
doors wouldn't open. They would have to pry them open.
so that's another issue with me is I don't. The older I get, the less nerd I want to be. But I was like, holy f! I did not think Slave One was bigger than a shuttle, but it like flies up in front of the cockpit, and I'm like, that's enormous. And then somehow it attaches.
Yeah, I wanted to know how. I wanted to know where that happened at, but
All I
we
could
never
think,
got to see it.
yeah, all I could imagine is that like there's this extending tube
Out of the note, like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I
but out of
pictured.
the bottom, I would think.
Yes, yes.
Like
Where
the
the ramp
Slave
is
One
kind
goes
of.
upright, I would think it would come.
Oh,
Like,
out
this
of
is
the
the
butt.
curve of.
Right. I see. Okay, you're talking about out of the butt. I'm talking about out of like the
I don't know.
penis-looking thing at the bottom.
There's still like all these wings on
I
both
know. Where does
ships, and I'm like, how does that work? Anyway, so the
it's pretty cool.
Mandalorian and everyone's favorite MMA wrestler board the ship, and then they have a back and forth. It really doesn't matter. She just shoots the one guy who
Yeah.
shot the other pilot that was like, I'm not with him. But he does
Yeah, I
make
give up.
he does make a really funny noise because
When
I
he goes
watched
down, he's
again.
like, "Oh, I got shot in the back of my head. My brain's
Well,
like, no vocal cords should be survived for me to make noise as I fall, but I'm making noise." I thought it was great.
third glasses. I only know of he's the third guy with glasses. I only know of Noah from the Ewok movies having glasses. I'm fine with the glasses. You know, what are you gonna do? They don't have retinox. What is it, retinox 5 from Star Trek? They're allergic to retinox. So yeah, oh yeah, that was it. I watched it again with my brother, and
Okay.
the guy's like, "I'm not with him. We could talk this out." And then the other pilot like shoots him in the back, and the noise he makes is like, "Ha ha ha ha!" And we're like, "What? Was it
That was
hot or
probably
did it kill you?"
well, that was probably either Foley or after in sound production.
Yeah, it was silly.
It was
One
probably
of
not the actor who actually made that sound. They probably added it in.
well, yeah, George is like, "Put the Emperor scream in." So then they get the professor guy.
Yeah.
They take him on Slave One. They do not even have to torture him, and he just
Oh, no.
gives up everything. Like, okay, that's fine.
I
That's
don't wanna be-
refreshing. I've never seen that in a while,
Yeah.
or I haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute or two. It's like he doesn't want pain. He doesn't want to be killed. He just wants to live. And that's exactly his character. He's going, and that's probably why he's working for the Emperor because they're keeping him alive.
Yeah, sure.
And he's obviously I just want to survive. That's all. I don't care.
Yeah. Hey guys, Crumb's World. We haven't done a plug for them in a while. I don't have my shirt is like so messed up. Like all of the paint is like crackling and coming off. So normally I'd be like Crumb's World, comics and collectibles in Winter Garden, Florida. Yeah. What were you asking?
I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, all right. Hey, thanks. I like my tree. It's short. It's like 3 feet tall.
That's what she said.
Yeah, no. The if there was some kind of like burn or torture, it would be the guy's ear is burned from whenever she shot the other guy off his shoulder.
Yeah, I was hoping to see something. I don't think I noticed anything on that.
Yeah.
I was hoping
it's black like later on when he's telling them everything. Gotcha. So then they go to what did I call it? It was like Smokestack Planet.
Smokestack Planet. A very beautiful planet with smokestacks. Not a cloud in the sky, and this thing's beautiful. There's like 7 or 8 of them. That was clean energy right there, man. I remember thinking, like, that is nice.
They're all nuclear towers. They always say nuclear towers are like the safest part because it's like the cool down area.
Yeah.
But that's the part that everybody freaks out about.
Yeah, because
maybe I'm wrong.
It's the imagery. Yeah. What they associate everything with. So that's why.
Yeah. But so they go to a bar on Smokestack Planet. This is the official name of
Oh,
it. I
yeah.
looked it up in the canon. It's Smokestack Planet.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's a bold name.
Okay.
And they find Katie Sackhoff and one
The
of her
Starbucks
other.
crew.
Yeah, but the
Starbucks
dude's missing.
Commandos.
That other
Yeah.
Mandalorian no longer exists, apparently. So
Well,
they're
what's
like,
happened between then and now? They went on a mission. Something happened to him, obviously. Backstory,
okay,
man.
sure.
Spin-off series right there.
I think they just got rid of him because he was a guy, or they had too many characters. So they're like, hey, Katie Sackhoff, we need you to help us with the Moff Gideon, get on his ship, and blah blah blah. It's her sidekick picks a fight with Boba Fett, and he slams her into a table, and I went, hooray! Because I hate the other Mandalorian chick, and I hate her stupid haircut, and I'm like, why is she speaking in this episode? She didn't speak before. Anyway, and then she slams Boba Fett, and I was like, this is horse shit.
Hey,
there's no way.
He is old, and she is younger, and she was using her jetpack.
I'm still going to be angry about it, but I was still able to rationalize it being okay because he crawled out of a sarlacc.
Exactly.
So I'm like, he's getting old. He's seen some stuff.
And, it's been a while. He's been through some shit.
Yeah.
That's good. I get it.
I hate it, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first chunk of this episode, I can completely forget.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens except for that Boba Fett fight with the sidekick.
And it's like 3 seconds.
Were they both flamethrowing each other?
I think so.
Because
fire cancels each other out somehow, I think.
Yeah, it bounces off of each other.
It's like, hey. Yeah, exactly. That's how the fire do.
Yep.
So they agree to go because Katie Sackhoff wants the Darksaber.
Yeah.
And she's like, bring me to Moff Gideon. But then on the ship, she's like, this is what the ship looks like. Here's where everyone's stored or whatever.
Blah, blah,
the
blah.
glasses guy is like, the Dark Troopers are in this area. And then she's like, we're going to take the bridge and be a distraction for you to go get the kid. And I'm like, so he's going to fight everybody or fight the main bad guys while you guys don't do the thing that you said you wanted to do.
Right. And yeah, pretty much. That's what I got from it. Well, that's why he got the key to his part of the plan was to stop the Dark Troopers from coming out, to sneak there. They get all the fire drawn to them, and then
it's a distraction.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree with.
And Boba Fett would have beat the snot out of anybody.
Yeah, in the longer run, it would have been Boba all the way.
Sure.
More experience beats out youth any day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. Experience always wins out.
It's true. Yeah. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers was my master.
Anyway, so everybody's supposed to be running in, so he should have a nice, easy way to the Dark Troopers to lock them in their thing and launch them out.
Yeah, so he's going to lock the... like you said. I agree. Not Boba Fett. Mandalorian is going to run down there, lock the Dark Troopers in, like a kid locking them in their bedroom. And then the other guys are going to... girls. It's a girl team.
It really was a clam bake. Sorry for the offense. I would have called it a sausage party, but...
Clam bake, that just makes me think of Kurt Vonnegut.
I know, doesn't it?
Timequake.
Yeah, crazy.
So 4 chicks. Two Mandalorians. You got MMA chick that everyone loves, and you got Boba Fett's sidekick, Asian woman. She's like 59 years old. Andrea, every time she comes on, Andrea's like, I can't believe that's a 59-year-old woman. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she's still kicking ass. So is that other one. That's on one of them that's on Discovery is doing the same thing. She's old Asian chick whooping ass.
Michelle Yeoh?
That's it. And I can't remember which one of them was on Shields or Shield.
No clue. I did not watch that show. Yeah, I want to know what happened to the other Mandalorian too.
Yeah. And that's setting up for backstory to another. Because apparently all these spin-off series are gonna connect somehow.
I don't doubt that.
Characters. They want the Marvel cinematic style going on.
That's fine. They've been doing that basically with Clone Wars to Rebels to this. And this one guy I follow, Matt Vader, he's always like, this is just a live action cartoon continuation of Rebels. And I'm like, yeah, just based on how they treat the stormtroopers.
Yeah. What? I see it as the book series coming to live action.
Sure.
Whatever books. But that's what, like, they're making these series kind of like how they wrote their book series that have stories, and those stories all interconnected. They carried the story on. It would be nice to see that continuation again.
Yeah, it would be nice to have continuity, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, continuity's out the window, man. People people who write nowadays, they want it. It's all about them. It's all about who's writing it. So they've got to leave their mark on it. So I'm going to change it completely.
Speaking of which, you guys should go watch my Starfire video. It's all about me and self-insert.
Nothing to do with the characters, anyways. Okay, where were we?
The chicks. They come out. Oh no. Okay, so the plan is that they fly the shuttle with Slave One chasing it, acting like he's shooting at them, and then they crash land in the hangar, and that's what's happening. That's basically what happens.
It was a nice crash too. It was
nice the guys are just standing there like, oh. They're like, oh, you need to don't land, and then at the last minute they're like, F it, run. Yeah. So then they come out and they just slaughter stormtroopers because the show has no respect for villains.
Well, that and you can't have them killing the main people anyway.
True, which has been my argument about that stupid ass stormtrooper meme where they're like, stormtroopers can't hit anything, and I'm like, they're not gonna shoot Han, idiots.
They're not gonna shoot the main characters. I mean, some X-Wings blow up, but Luke's X-Wing's not going to blow up. They're not going to blow up Millennium Falcon. I mean, come on.
That's why, like, in my Mandalorian video, I was like, I would love to see one episode just addressing this, where it was like the Clone Wars micro series where they did the clone troopers. They crash, and then it's like an elite squad taking out targets. I would love to see stormtroopers doing that.
Yeah, it would be neat.
I kind of thought they were going to when Boba Fett was murdering all of them. They had the one with the orange pauldron, and he actually looked like he was telling people what to do, and then he just died.
Yeah.
Like, okay, forget it.
Well,
I can't ever have what I want.
Well, you're in war. You can't be like sitting there pointing, telling people what to do on a battlefield. You're gonna be the first one out.
No, but that was the coolest thing about the Clone Wars micro series thing was. There was no dialogue. He was just giving hand signals and telling them what to do.
No, I think they were more military. I still don't see the stormtroopers in there. These guys are just like almost like the reserves, like the weekend warrior guys.
I can see that to a point, but they've never given any respect to stormtroopers, and I would like to see it once.
In the books and in the comics, they have.
Yeah. But then usually those stormtroopers defect.
Yeah, because they're so good and they get so popular. People are like, oh. So
I want them to be a good guy. Even Kyle Katarn was a good guy or a stormtrooper. Yeah.
That's also the whole flaw of a hero type thing. I used to be bad and I became good. That's that whole journey type thing that you got to portray people.
It's just another one of those things. It's like, well, there was precedent for having a character go from bad to good. So what's Finn's excuse?
Nothing.
It
made him feel bad.
JJ writing, quote unquote.
He didn't like killing people, obviously. He had a conscience.
He was a janitor. It was his first battle. It just stopped. Those movies don't exist.
So, I agree with you, man.
So the chicks run down the ramp and they just slaughter stormtroopers. And the first thing I thought was, I haven't seen the Avengers Endgame movie, but this feels like that scene in Avengers Endgame that everyone complains about, where
It was
all the
directed
girls,
by
all the
Peyton
girls
Reed.
team up. What?
It was directed by Peyton Reed, Ant-Man dude.
The Endgame was?
No, this episode.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
Oh, well, the
so that's
audience
probably
might
why
not.
because they all had their input on Endgame, and
Okay, yeah, sure.
it's like a superhero type team right here. So of course, with a superhero director, you're going to see those superhero stances.
It's just more,
And that's probably what it was.
So there is something to say about it, because like people are like, this is how you do a strong girl team that just comes together. You don't force it together like in a lot of other stuff. And I'm like,
Right.
I can see that in any other decade, I'd be fine with this, but I hate this scene. And then I
It
especially,
still feels forced.
yeah,
Because of what is
but
going on, it feels forced.
but then that's still the team that they've built up over the season, so
Right. So
it
it's not
kind of works too.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
just don't want to see it. And they don't.
It didn't bother me as much as except for when you notice it is when it bothers me. It's like
it's just
that's when it pulls me out of the story is when you notice it. That's when it feels forced. That's when it takes you from the story, then it doesn't really work. But it still worked, but it still pulled you from the story.
Well, that's like the problem with writing in Hollywood now is like it's always in there, and I always know there's a reason for it, and it's not because it's part of the story. It's because girl power, and I'm like, you are doing a disservice to girls, especially when your enemies are such trash. That I watched Ethan Van Sciver review this episode, and he had the same thoughts as me. He's like, when your enemies are trash, saying girl power and just pasting them does not impress me, and it shouldn't impress anyone.
No.
But yeah. Anyway, so they paste all the stormtroopers. The 59-year-old, she was the voice of Mulan in the old animated movie. She dodges a blaster bolt. And I watched it with Andrea, and then I watched it with my brother later, and they were both like, "Oh, come on!"
Well, it looked like the blaster bolt was nowhere near her to begin with. And when she dodged it, I was okay, maybe is that the droid parts jerking your ass back?
That could be your only explanation that I would be like, okay, maybe.
But at the same time, it looked like it was nowhere near her for her to dodge it.
It doesn't matter. They just point through a little hole in a crate and shoot a stormtrooper in the head.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever. They take the bridge and murder everybody.
Yep. Because they're savages.
There was something. Nah. Anyway, yeah. So they take the bridge. The Mandalorian strolls out of the shuttle, even though everyone's dead, and then slowly sneaks because there are troopers in the background that run across and stuff.
Okay. Now, does his spear extend and shorten?
No, I think it's
very
just
short when it's on his back.
I think it's a set length.
That's what I thought too.
And it's always sticking up here now.
Oh, it looked like it was short when he put it in. Like when he tucked it in, it looked like it shrank.
Oh, I don't get that impression. Like that it would collapse.
Right.
Because when he's fighting with it, it doesn't look like there's any seam.
But when he puts it on his back, you see a little bit sticking up here, but there's nothing sticking out down at the bottom.
Do you remember when there was a blue jeans guy in the shot?
Maybe they fixed it.
Just chalk it up to production. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I was just making sure that because to me it started looking like it started to collapse, and I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just a solid beam of Beskar.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Cortosis is still better. But so he's sneaking along. He's like meandering.
Yeah,
and
just looking around. I don't think he downloaded the mechanics correctly because he doesn't know where he's going. He needs a little antenna.
He's just like walking. And I'm like, you should probably lightly jog. So then They activate the Dark Troopers. Oh, that was the thing. They're like, they can't keep them at full.
What?
We're gonna address the Dark Troopers because I have issues.
They're effing droids. Flip a switch, they're on.
They can't keep them at full power because they drain too much power or something. Here's the thing about science fiction is that if you're going to put a spaceship into space and have the capability of jumping from one planet to another in a matter of hours, you're going to have some kind of a reactor that's not going to break down in the middle of that journey. If that is the case, it would have such an enormous power supply that you could probably keep your Dark Troopers like at least on standby. Sleep mode.
Sleep mode.
Yeah. Also, he was like, this is the final generation of Dark Troopers, the guy with the glasses.
Yes.
This is how I'm going to refer to him from now on. He's like, this is the final generation. They're all droid now. The person in the suit was the problem to be solved. And I went, they solved it in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was like, full circle. Full circle.
Like, are you a moron?
They forgot what happened during the Clone Wars for them to bring it back to full circle. They forgot that they fought a droid army already, and they destroyed the droid army with people.
So what's funny to me is I hate the prequels, but I can still enjoy parts of them.
Oh yeah.
But I used to defend original trilogy continuity, and now I'm finding myself defending prequel continuity.
Well, like, they say the prequels go into this. I mean, so
yeah, and it's like, no, that doesn't work. I don't even like the prequels, and that doesn't work.
I know.
Yeah, I mentioned that to someone in one of my chat groups, and he thought it was pretty funny. I was like, what the F, man? So he doesn't get there in time before the Dark Troopers are already waking up. So he goes and sticks in the key to close the door, and one of them catches it and comes out like a freaking T-800.
I know.
And then that's pretty fun because he just tosses him around and beats him up.
Like a ragdoll.
He's trying to shoot him.
Nothing's working.
Good,
like,
good
what
fight.
Kind of armor are they using? Because that's the kind of armor they need to make for the stormtroopers.
It's like, that was the same thing with Phasma. It's like, oh, she can deflect shots. Why doesn't all armor do that?
Exactly.
And then, like the previous episode, he goes to block a club and the armor shatters. It's like, ugh.
It's like, anyway. What's the point of wearing the armor? I mean, unless you're like,
cool.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I like Stormtrooper armor.
Oh, I mean, I do too, but when it doesn't do anything, it's pointless.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, give me an awesome episode of Stormtroopers kicking butt.
Yes.
Because, and like, even if they were doing that to make the Dark Troopers more intimidating by making it look like, oh, these are no problem, and then you bring out Dark Troopers and you're like, oh, crap. They should have been doing that the whole season. All Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
So he fights one, and he's only able to kill it with a spear through the neck and popping the head off.
Yep.
I'm fine with it. It felt a lot like Terminator. And the trooper has him against the wall, and he's punching his head into the wall, and it's just like collapsing under the helmet. And that's totally from one of those Iron Man movies. I remember someone doing that. Maybe it was Hulk doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, something. I remember. Yeah. But it worked.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was fun.
Once again, he has effing wrist darts. And we're like, where does he keep getting these? First season, it's like, you only have one shot.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought.
Every other episode.
He's got shots of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did it. Unless it was like one shot to recharge and he's got an unlimited ammo from him.
They're still projectiles. Where are you getting the projectiles? Anyway, it's the same with Boba Fett's rocket. Where does he keep getting rockets? So he finds the cell.
Same place Batman gets his wonderful toys.
Batman makes his toys. Or he orders them from separate shippers, depending on what movie you're watching. And combines them in-house. So he finds the cell with the torp. I still love that they have baby handcuffs on, just on hand. They're like, put them in shackles. I really wanted them to have, like, the binders are usually like attached at the middle. I wanted it to be him entirely in one shackle with like the other shackle sticking off the side. But
Just to show, yeah.
just have baby shackles. Yeah. Moff Gideon standing there with the Darksaber over him, blah blah blah. Yeah. And he's like, "You can take him, take the baby, just leave my ship. I already got all the stuff I need from him."
Yeah.
And it I lost my train of thought.
The blood.
Yeah, he already has the blood. He's like, "Take the baby. I don't need him anymore." But leave my ship.
That's all the Mando wanted anyway. He didn't really care about what was going on with Bo-Katan. He doesn't care about Mandalore. He doesn't care about any of that. He's not Mandalore. He's not from Mandalore. He's what a Mandalorian is. Yeah, he's a foundling. From what Mandalore is made up of is just random people coming together to build a tribe from all corners of the galaxy. Doesn't matter what species.
I don't even know anymore. I watched all those Clone Wars episodes. I have no memory of it except that I didn't like the design of everything being in cubes.
Yeah, I still don't consider any of that to be history.
Oh yeah,
Clone Wars. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I've got the expanded universe. That's my history. I don't care that Disney won the war and is trying to rewrite it. The EU is my history. That's
right. Yeah, well, that's what I do. You take. There's so many people online now.
It's good to watch, but it doesn't mean anything to me because I already lived the history and I've read it and I know what happens. To me, all this new shit is just you trying to wipe out what already happens. The day I die, that's just all fake to me. Well, it's all fake to begin with and doesn't have any significance to do with anything.
We've discussed it before where I'm like, it just feels like it doesn't have any weight. And like when they take stuff from the EU and put it in this, it just feels generic to me.
No, it feels nasty.
I'm trying. Good.
Feels like I don't want to say it. So
all right then. There's like things that are growing on me that I can hold in a separate place in my head where I'm like, that's cool, but still not part of it.
It's like an alternate history type thing, but it doesn't. It's like a what if, Elseworld story that has nothing to do with the main.
That's what it feels like. It feels like a what if.
A what if or Elseworld, like a one-off that they're just doing and they're just continuing it on. Whatever. It means nothing to me.
Sure.
I mean, it's fun to watch and it's cool, but again, this isn't like the Mandalorian. I can put that into the EU. That could fit easily.
Mm-hmm. So far.
It could easily fit into the EU.
Sure. Especially with how this one ends. Where were we?
Ahsoka into the EU by having her like go be with the Vong instead of that.
Oh, Verger or whatever her name was, the chicken woman.
Yeah, the chicken woman. That would have been way better.
I always said that I would have preferred Ahsoka to be a later student more than take away time from Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, exactly. Then that's why I don't really care about that shit. Like she should have gone she should have been the Verger character that left during Anakin's time and came.
Would have been cool.
Yeah,
but that was the Clone Wars came after.
Oh, I know.
That would have been a great idea.
That was the trip to the outer thing that happened when Anakin was a teenager.
Rogue Planet was
the start of it.
Was that when she left?
No, it wasn't Rogue Planet. It was because that was Greg Bear, not Timothy Zahn. Only Timothy Zahn did the other stuff. Greg Pak, maybe Greg Bear or Greg Pak. I can't remember.
Bear does science fiction books.
Pak is Wonder Woman.
What's that?
I think Greg Pak did Wonder Woman. Anyways, back onto topic. Sorry.
I don't know where we left off. Oh, Mandalorian. Yeah, right. So then he starts fighting Gideon. He beats him up. He takes his lightsaber.
That wasn't really a fight. And again, he has the dark saber, which is don't get me wrong. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a lightsaber, right? There's
Yeah,
dark.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just like a black crystal or something.
The Mando doesn't have finger like protection. He's just
Oh
wearing
yeah,
gloves,
I
right?
did think that he could just like slide it
Boom,
down.
slide down right there.
And the
Thumb,
fingers
fingers
go like
gone.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, the fighting style on all this is horrible. That's why Cortez or
cortosis.
Cortez, Catorsis
Cortosis.
would be so much better because it would sort out the lightsaber every time he hit it, and then it would like he would hit it, it would go out and come back on, and then it would be flickering. It would be a way better fight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it shorts it out for like a few minutes, I think.
I don't think it's a few minutes because Luke is carving through pure.
Yeah, but it's like shutting off
He
every time he
slices
hits
and
it.
and it goes off, and then he has to get it back on, and then he slices again. So him and
Yeah.
Mara were sitting there going at it pretty good.
Yeah. I'm gonna invite Ro from the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast into here. He's like
Alrighty.
he like runs the what do you call it? The Red 5 network for Star Wars podcasts. Maybe he'll show up. He said he's drunk.
Aren't we all?
I am not. So he fights Gideon. He goes to the bridge. Katie Sackhoff is like dumbfounded that Mandalorian has the dark saber now.
Okay, I loved how he just came walking on with it turned on.
Yeah.
Just comes walking. Would you not just if you had a lightsaber just walk with it turned on?
Yeah, but I would also have it turned on so that I could kill him if he tries to do something.
Well, I think that's why he was like he was ready. I mean, he's a trained warrior. If he's got it turned on, he's ready to use it. That's how I see it. But I mean, it was just cool to me. He was like, okay, yeah, I would be doing the same fucking thing.
So one of my favorite parts is that he tells him that the sword doesn't have power; it's the story.
Yeah.
So if you can only have the sword if you win it in combat. And he's holding it. He's like, I yield. You take it. And I cracked up. I was like, that's so cool.
He's like, I do not care about this. This is like literally, I don't care about your politics. The politics are stupid. Here you go. I'm out.
Yeah. He's like, I've already, I tried to keep my helmet on for 2 seasons and it didn't happen. I don't give a crap about your sword.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Ro.
That whole part. And,
Mad Ro to stream. Ro, can you hear me?
Yes. How's it going? The real Sean.
Steve, Ro, Steve.
Steve, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
You joined the chat and we lost half our viewers, so you were like half our viewers.
It's awesome. What are you guys talking about?
We are step by stepping through the episode, and we're at the part where he's like, I yield the saber to you because I don't give a crap.
Yes. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah. So then, we forgot to mention that he blew the rest of the Dark Troopers out.
Oh, right. As
soon as that happened, I was like, they're coming back. They have jet feet.
They're droids. Like, that didn't do anything to them anyway.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't a kill-all, definitely thing.
No. And I'm surprised that he thought it would. Or maybe he was just trying to get rid of him. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Bro.
It's like at that point you have to figure out what the best course of action is. I mean, he was getting his butt kicked by that one, and he definitely didn't want the rest of them to join the party. So whatever works, man.
No doubt.
Blowing him out the cargo hold. I guess that'll slow him down for a while, which it did, but he didn't anticipate them flying back.
Not as quickly, apparently.
Yeah.
I think all that action that they put in, that talk and all that was a distraction for the audience for make us forget about them for a few seconds while everything else was going on. So it's like, oh crap, we forgot about those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, for sure.
I had a thought and I just lost it.
Oh.
and I'm the one that's drinking.
Yeah, it happens. We'll end up going off on a tangent about the EU, and then I'm like, what were we even talking about?
Something.
So they they come back. They see a bunch of red dots on the screen, like flying towards the ship. Oh man, it was something about the ship that whatever. So the Dark Troopers come back and Gideon does his best bad guy gloating. And then
he's so good at that.
Yeah. I like that that it's not even a meme. It was a picture he sent to me of the actor, and he's like I have 4 daughters, and they 2 of them called me up and they're like, please don't hurt him, and he's like, I will crush that little green bastard.
Yeah, he said that in an interview with some magazine.
That's good. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
So they're trapped in the bridge with like 100 effing Dark Troopers coming and no way out.
No, I think it's like 75.
Okay. That's very specific.
It says in Wikipedia, it says 75 is in a platoon. So you're right.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Technically, it'd be 74 because he destroyed one.
Right.
Anyway, so they're screwed, and they get another ding on their console, and they say they show an X-wing flying in.
That's where I lost it.
I thought it was Asian Porkins again.
When I saw 1, no. 2, yes, it was Asian Porkins and his friend. But
Dave
no,
Filoni.
With one, I instantly knew, and that's exactly when I texted Sean. I was like, and then I realized, oh crap, I probably shouldn't have texted you that. But then I remembered you get social media first thing in the morning, so it's already ruined for you.
I've now that it's over, I've learned not to look at Twitter before I watch them. Ro, did you know that it was gonna be him, or were you like, there's no way they're doing that?
We've been talking about this on the Scarif podcast for 3 episodes now, and I think narratively, the fact that Luke Skywalker showed up made the most sense. I didn't think they would have the balls to do it. We talked about, we would have been upset if it was some Jedi that nobody ever heard of. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But, when that X-Wing showed up, I started to really think and say, damn, are they going to go here? Are they doing this? And, again, the pipe dream was, it has to be Luke. I mean, Luke is alive during this time. He's the, and again, somebody also posted the fact that they would have liked to have heard the Force theme during this before we actually see, but I think that would have given it all away. As an editor, I understand the notion of time compression. They really extended the sequence of Luke landing and getting there and destroying these droids without seeing his face. I think everybody, I think, was sitting at the edge of their, just kind of chomping at the bit, sitting at the edge of their seat, just kind of realizing, trying to figure out, are they gonna freaking do this? Is this happening? And I think we all wanted it to happen. I think again, we really didn't realize, we didn't think that they had the balls to do it. And thank God for Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau's big hairy balls that they did it, because it really paid off.
Yeah. So I saw the X-Wing and I was like, it's someone else. I'm so jaded and cynical from Disney, the way they treat the fan base and not giving them what they want. So when
I thought it was going to be Ezra.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Ezra was like the top the top choice.
Yeah. That makes no sense because he's still lost in hyperspace wherever Thrawn is.
Yeah, right, supposedly. But I think, this could have been the introduction to Ezra and coming into season 3, we could find out, well, what did he do out there? I'm so glad that didn't happen, though.
Oh my gosh, so
me too. Because I was convinced it was going to be him. But I saw this X-Wing. I didn't think anything of it. I was really bored by like the first half of the episode. So I was like, this is not going to be anything. And then when they said the they did the comms. They're like, identify yourself, and he's flying into the hangar. That's when I stood up, mostly because I have a glare. I have a glare from my window on my TV. I stood up, and then as the scene progressed, I think I made a bark noise, and then I still didn't believe it all the way up until
Sure.
like even there, I was like, "That's going to be someone else." Like
Right.
they're trying to trick you,
Yep.
and then
Right.
I even saw his belt buckle, and I was like, "That's not his, or
Right.
that's
No,
not him."
like
It looks like it.
that.
And
the
like,
green saber and the black glove, that was what did
That's
it.
where, yeah, that's what sold me on it. When I saw the black glove with the green saber,
Right there,
right.
right there.
It's him.
Right there. Yep.
That's when I threw my arms up. My kid was watching it with me. He threw his arms up.
I
We
still
started
thought it was a
screaming.
trick.
Oh, no.
I thought they gave someone else his lightsaber, and they deliberately put them in gloves to fool you.
The longer it went without showing his face, the more I started thinking that. But no, it yeah, no.
It's
so beautiful.
So I was doubting it, but I was still crying at the same time because I'm like, this is not happening.
Well, obviously,
you were preparing for the inevitable letdown, of course.
Yeah,
right.
That's so sad.
Your expectations were going to be subverted.
Yeah, that's what I expect from Disney Star Wars now. Like, I've waited even the live stream on the thumbnail I put. It feels like I'm seeing my oldest friend after 40 dark years, and even like the music right here, there's like this very subtle guitar and like a backup chorus, and I started choking up. I was like, I think I've watched it 8 times. I can't make it through without choking up. Anyway, thoughts? So Luke comes in and murders all the dark troopers.
You know, there's somebody there's a parallel when there's a couple of moves that Luke does that's very similar and reminiscent to Anakin. You know, there's a whole bunch of scenes where Anakin destroys the battle, you know, the big battle droids.
Right.
There's shots of Anakin just, you know, jumping and just kind of slamming the lightsaber down in between them, and the droids open up. So there's a lot of that in here, and I think, you know, obviously that's very deliberate. It's you know, a deliberate callback to the fighting style, like father and son. So it's, I mean, hell, look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's one moment, like when he first comes out, where I think it's right here. No, right. He pulls one towards him and he like cuts it in half. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then even the throwing of the helmet made me think of Darth Maul throwing junk at the door control.
Sure.
Yeah. And this was just wonderful. Him crushing it.
Yep.
Even here,
still, right there.
Still doubting it.
Still doubting it. Yeah.
No, I was jumping around my living room with my 2-year-old.
Yeah. And then they showed his face, and I'm like, is he a clone? Because the guy with the glasses is a cloner. And I think it wasn't until R2 rolled in. I don't know if it's on this clip.
Again, you know, edited. I was in tears, and I didn't think I had any more tears to give, and then R2 shows up, and I was gone.
Yeah, man. I've said it. I feel like I'm so annoying, but to me, Luke is the soul of Star Wars, and R2 is the heart. And they're the most important 2 things you have to preserve. You can screw up so much else if you take care of those 2 characters. It's important to take care of those 2 characters.
Well, yeah. For a lot of people, Luke Skywalker is Star Wars. Yeah. That's what Star Wars is to a big generation.
Yeah. That's several generations.
I mean, it's good to see new generation. And we don't hate it, but well, some of us hate a lot of it. But
I'm like, not this new generation, you damn kids.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. But show us some of this. Show us this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we've been screaming it for So, like you said, Sean, for almost 40 years now since Jedi ended.
Let me
I
ask
say
you
my-
guys.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you guys this: were you guys okay with? I know on our timeline we've seen a lot of not really complaints, but just kind of some comments regarding the technology behind his shots. Were you guys okay that it wasn't? You know, there's obviously still some uncanny valley. I don't think that technology is going to be 100%. We're going to get really close to the facial recreation in 3D. But what did you guys think of his look? And I know, there's also some budgetary constraints, time constraints. It's a TV show, but were you guys off put by the 100% look, or were you guys okay with that?
Steve, go first.
I have a it still looks fake. You can tell he's been de-aged. But
Well, I think
even
it's
Tarzan
mapped.
looked really bad to me too in Rogue One. I don't know. I can just see the difference. It's still not good enough. It's still
Sure.
too smooth. Like his cheeks look smooth, too smooth
Yeah.
for it to be him. I mean, it is him, but they smoothed out like maybe a little too much.
Yeah.
For me, some shots obviously look better than others, but for me, I was like, "Holy crap, that looks exactly like Mark Hamill from Jedi." Like, there's certain like facial tics that Mark Hamill has in Jedi, and they were hitting those. And I'm the weirdo person that would rather you CG the face than recast the actor. So like when everyone complains about Tarkin, and I'm like, I would be so annoyed if they put in another actor. I would rather see you try to fake that and not like totally achieve it, but I don't want to see anyone else as that character.
Same here. I mean, people were clamoring for Sebastian Stan, and I was wishing that it was him. I don't wish it was him. I think they did a great job. I think, he doesn't look exactly like it, but I think it shows a little bit of respect to not only the actor but the fans that actually want to see Luke Skywalker from 1983, and I think this accomplished what it needed to accomplish. I too was really I don't know, excited to see Peter Cushing in Rogue One. I think again, narratively, it made sense to bring him in. You can't have a story about stealing the Death Star plans and have the Death Star at the center of the story without at least mentioning or seeing Grand Moff Tarkin. I love the fact that they brought him back in. I loved that they're using this technology. Although I do want to say that it's, and I'm assuming it's the same technology, but when they did, I forgot which Avengers movie it was where they had Robert Downey Jr. De-aged. Can't remember which one it was.
I think it was Civil War.
It was Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the best that they've done. I don't think anything has.
When Peyton Reed did Ant-Man with Michael Douglas.
Yeah, that was pretty damn good too.
That was really good too.
So bring some of those people in to work on this if they're going to kind of continue to do Luke Skywalker in the show, because I think that would be an amazing thing. I don't know where the show is going to go now. You kind of went to the top by showing us Luke here.
Yeah,
so
they got to take it back to square one. Probably something to do with Mandalore, and because he kept the black saber, right?
Well, he has to.
Or dark saber. He had the dark saber at the very end, so it's got to be something with Mandalore. Him being the leader of Mandalore.
He should have been like, "Here, Luke, take this. I don't want it."
Look, whatever, I got one. I'm good.
Well, they stole it from a Jedi temple, didn't they?
Right.
Like years and years ago.
The Mandalorian who created it kept it at the Jedi temple after he died, so this wouldn't happen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've said to a few people, like 2020 feels like it's just a big cloud of suck on everything, and then I saw this scene and I felt so relieved. I was like, it's so nice to see this.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that continues to surprise me, we talk about this on Scarif. You know, when the show was first announced, obviously people were wondering who was going to show up in this storyline. We got some familiar characters, but you know, they brought in, there was rumors, you know, even before she showed up, there was rumors that Ahsoka was going to come on. And then we were thinking that, you know, if they bring somebody as big as Ahsoka, it would turn into the Ahsoka show. Obviously, now they've got Boba Fett. People were like, well, if they bring in Boba Fett, it's going to turn into the Boba Fett show. Fucking Luke Skywalker now. I mean, you know, it's doing a really great job at just kind of, you know, giving us those characters, but just kind of, you know, using them sparingly. Again, just as part of serving the overall narrative. I think they're doing a really great job at kind of, you know, making sure that it doesn't turn, you know, into an Avengers or, you know, into one of those bad Batmans where you have 20 bad guys and you know, whatever. So I'm really surprised and I'm really happy that that this show is succeeding where maybe other Star Wars has not.
Yeah. Well, that was like even the thing with the sequel movies. They were like, we had to keep rewriting the script because anytime Luke showed up, it became all about Luke. And it's like, well, this shows that you can use him and still have other characters.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Abrams said some kind of quote about not being able to service everybody.
Oh, yeah. Appeal to young audiences and older fans at the same time. There's a meme of that.
Right.
and then at the bottom has Jon Favreau. It says, hold my beer.
Hold my blue milk.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that proves that you can. It's all about the story writing, and unfortunately, that's gone out the window a lot in Hollywood.
Sure. I
Falling
sent
back
my
on simple storytelling.
I sent my wife a picture of this shot right after I watched it, and I was like, I'm messed up, man. And she's like, are you hurt? And I'm like, no, just emotional.
Just emotional. My soul is aching.
Oh, man.
But, you know, it's really unfortunate getting back to the Hollywood writing and stuff like that. I mean, you know, what people forget is that, you know, this is a business. Disney is the biggest conglomerate on the planet, and they just bought this franchise for $4.2 billion. The investors needed some cheddar, and they needed results. So, you know, did it suffer? Did the sequel trilogy suffer from, you know, from that aspect of the business? I think it did. You know, obviously there are a lot of talented story writers out there and creatives behind the scenes that maybe could have given us a different take on Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy that would have been universally accepted, you know, more so than what The Last Jedi did. But, you know, we got what we got. But who knows, man?
Oh, and you know, Ro, that I can't stand Ahsoka, but if she does something with the World Between Worlds that wipes out the sequel trilogy, she's the best character ever.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that you know, Disney is a company that it's not going to even if somebody behind the scenes in a closet somewhere says, "Hey guys, man, we fucked up." They're not gonna tell the public. It's just too much lighter fluid.
Yeah, it's true.
But the one thing that we can agree on, I think, is you know, this show is kind of showing the fans that okay, we hear you, we got it. Let's move forward. Let's see what we can do here. You know, it's almost like an apology, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we will
definitely. There was one more thing to discuss, but I put the photo away. Dang it. So if you were like me and you were texting your wife and walked away from the TV as the credits were playing, there is an after. Excuse me, sir.
Sorry.
There's an after credit scene, and it's Jabba's palace, and it looks amazing.
I want to say that fans will go crazy every time they see those twin suns. So it was really fantastic.
It's true. Yeah, not a bad shot. I think it was new for this series. It wasn't like a reused shot of Jabba's palace.
Looks like they redid it, and because that's probably going to be the basis of this new series.
Anyway, I can't find it, of course. So, because I need it, I can't find it. So, what is her name? The Boba Fett's
Fennec Shan.
She comes into Jabba's palace where a very large Bib Fortuna is sitting on a throne. He has a head tail that's like this.
Oh man, I love it. Cancerous.
It's not a tumor.
I think it is.
You need a second opinion. Let me just find this one picture. So she comes in, she shoots some Gamorrean guards and other guards, and I love Gamorreans, but they still look kind of anemic in this show. And then
hey, all about body image, man.
Yeah, body positivity. So then she kills some guy, she frees a Twi'lek slave girl, and then Boba Fett comes down and shoots Bib Fortuna and throws him out of the chair and takes his place there. And then I decided to post this as a meme. Nobody cares for it, except for Matt Vader, who likes Conan the Barbarian as much as I do. And it just looks like the end of the Conan the Barbarian movie.
King Boba.
Yeah, it's awesome. Andrea was like, "Did you put your Boba Fett figure on that throne yet?" And I was like, "I don't have a throne to put him on." But it's cool, man. I enjoyed it. And like we were saying before,
for the Book of Boba?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I'm not like big on this show, but I said it in my Mandalorian video. There's always a possibility that things will get better, and I can pick things that I like as we go along. And then, so like during this season, when Boba Fett's ship showed up, and I was like, "That's not Boba Fett." And then it was Boba Fett, and I was like, "He's not going to do stuff." And then he did stuff. I was like, "You guys, I'm so used to you like subverting me that." I was so happy with that Boba Fett episode, even though I didn't care for the writing. I didn't care. I was like, oh my God, I've been wanting to see Boba Fett do stuff forever.
It's like we're all suffering PTSD, man.
That's what I was thinking today, actually. Yeah. So, like, between that episode and this episode, those are like my two favorite ones for the whole season. The first one's good. I like Cobb Vanth, and I don't really care for the design of the Crate Dragon, but what?
I thought Vance was going to show back up. Yeah,
like be part of the crew or something. I didn't really care for the Crate Dragon design, but it was still fun to watch it vomit on people and stuff. But yeah. That's so you guys, cool. Overall opinions on season 2?
I liked it a lot. I don't know if it was slow. I liked it a lot better than season 1. I think season 1 had a lot of growing pains for me.
Fobs.
Yeah, I mean,
what was that about? Still didn't get an answer for that. Because they didn't bring him back, obviously.
I think they're all hoping that we'll forget about it.
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like that type of thing. I have no memory of season 1, except for the Jawas and jumping up the side of the sandcrawler, because that's like Super Star Wars on the Super NES for me.
This one was faster than season 1, that is for sure. But I don't know, too many side quests that lead them to the main quest. This could have been done. Like this should have been season or episode 7. We should have one more episode.
I can see that. I think there's a lot. There were a lot more really cool nuggets in season 2 that made us, really, stand at attention. Whether you have a glare on your TV or not, you got to stand up and watch it. But
had nothing to do with me being
yeah.
emotional.
But yeah, looking forward to season 3. I think there's 5 seasons slated, and that's kind of the norm in the industry now. But I'm looking forward to some of the other shows as well. Cassian for one, but we'll see what happens. We have a long way to wait for more Star Wars, and I think is there another show that comes in between before we even get season 3 of Mando? I think Cassian is 2022.
Boba is December
2021.
2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The way Mando goes, Mando should be out this time next year.
Well,
right?
I saw a rumor that they were going to be
Mando and Boba about the same time.
I saw a rumor that they're actually going to be filming at the same time. So I thought that Boba Fett was going to be season 3, but I guess there might be a season 3 Mandalorian and a season 1 Boba Fett.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett.
I think that's been confirmed that the Book of Boba Fett is not season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Right. And it might just be one season of Boba. Yeah, like one book. Well, I guess they could do chapter 1, and then the next season will be chapter 2 or something. Since they're calling it a book, I don't know.
I don't know. You got me, man. Yeah, well. All right. I think that's all we got this week. I gotta free my wife from the bedroom of shunning. The bedroom of shunning.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean, for having me on.
No, hey, anytime you want to. Well, we're out of Star Wars episodes. Next time, we're just back to talking nonsense. But yeah, it was great having you on. Thanks so much for jumping on. If you guys,
no problem.
Yeah, I'll tell all our watchers where they can find you.
Sure, I'm on the Twitterverse, Scarif Podcast, the podcast channel that my co-host Brad and I run. Or you can follow my personal. I think it's Ro_Gazga or Ro Gazga. I can't remember. It's like when you ask, it's like, "What's your wife's number?" I don't know. Favorite number 1.
I have a wife.
Exactly. But yeah, just talking Star Wars. We just finished our Scarif Live. Talked about this episode, which actually drops on Tuesday. We did it live, but we do some editing and add some little tidbits here and there for the podcast version. But again, members of the Red 5 Network, if you guys are interested in checking out a lot more of some more geekdom, Star Wars, Marvel, comics, pop culture, movies, anything geek related, check out red5network.com.
Indeed.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. That's all I got. I usually read the outro that takes us another like 3 minutes, depending on if I can get the words out. So, folks, if you stuck around this long, I want to ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me, we'll start with Steve. I always do this. If you want to follow Steve, I gotta separate these windows. Did I mention this is the show where I learn how to live stream? Share screen, application window. If you want to follow Steve on Instagram, he takes pictures of toys and nonsense. And this week he took pictures of my nonsense. Little charm acrylic figure that I had made of my characters. He is at SJP Second Toy Chest on Instagram. If you want to follow my comic, my sci-fi cartoony comic on Instagram, hopefully crowdfunding in the near future if I can ever manage to finish this cover. It is The Real Smacked in the Head on Instagram. And I, myself, who posts when upcoming live streams are and silly nonsense that I find in the streets, like Spider-Man, I am at The Real Sean Crummel pretty much on everything. And I'm also on Twitter, but don't follow me on Twitter because Twitter's the devil. I'm kidding. You can follow me on Twitter. Anyway, that's it. It's hot in here. Thank you guys. Again,
Well, thank you.
Steve, it was nice meeting you.
You too, Ro. Very nice meeting you.
Everyone,
All
check
right,
out
Sean.
Ro's stuff. All right, guys. I'll
Have a
see
good
you
one.
next time. Ro, I'll see you in the chats.
Take care, man. May the force
Take
be
care.
with you.
Hey,
And with
absolutely. All right, see you.
Goodbye.